Spleen. What organ detoxifies the blood coming from your intestines? That'd be your liver. So what is the liver has something called a portal system. What is a portal system? So where you have your heart, and then the blood vessels coming out of that is the arteries, and the arteries go into little arterioles and then little capillaries, right? Capillaries are where the exchange takes place. Then it collects into venules and then veins, and then goes back into the heart, right? So a portal system is when you violate that because you open up from a little artery into a capillary bed, and then you close up into a vein, but then you open up into a second capillary bed after that, and then close it into a vein and then go back into the heart. Okay, so there's two capillary beds on one branch, right? And the reason why you do that is you want to do something with the blood that came off a specific organ, like right away, before it circulates in the whole body. And the biggest example of that is the hepatic portal vein, which is the blood vessels that feed your gut, right? When they go circulate through your gut, they pick up all that digested food, except for the fat, and then they go into the hepatic portal vein, and then they branch out again into the capillaries that supply the liver. And that's how the liver is able to get the first, is able to work on the stuff that comes off your gut before it goes out to the rest of the body, because the stuff that you absorb from your gut isn't allowed to go to your heart before it passes to the liver, right? So that's what a portal vein, sort of portal system is.
How does the liver synthesize alcohol?
It doesn't synthesize, it breaks down alcohol. So it has enzymes that will attack alcohol. So one of the ways that people develop tolerance, for instance, is that consumption of alcohol will stimulate their body to produce more of that enzyme, and so less of the actual alcohol will hit them. Because more, you dump a certain amount of alcohol into the hepatic portal vein, goes to the liver, and some percent of it is going to be destroyed before it even passes on to the rest of you. And so you only get a small amount of the alcohol that you drink is what actually circulates through you, and then of course it'll get taken out when subsequent passes to the liver. So that's why, that's a lot of the reason that certain drugs, they wear off, right? Because they'll either be processed in the liver or they'll be peed out from the kidneys. Okay, either the liver will break them apart or the kidneys will, excrete them. So that's why one of the things you have to learn in pharmacology is like, where does this drug go out of the body, right? Because some of them will, a significant proportion will come out like in sweat and stuff like that, but like you can get contamination of person to person from like significant body contact with a drug that's only taken to seep into the other person.
That's interesting.
That's rare though.
Isn't it with alcohol that it can damage your liver if you drink too much?
Yes, yeah.
Is that why?
Yes. Because it's alcohol is substance, and when people are damaging their liver from drinking alcohol, they're drinking a lot of alcohol. Like a dose is, a very modest amount of alcohol. People are like, you're not even buzzed until you've had 3 drinks or something like that, right? So, like, when people have like a Long Island iced tea or something that has like 6 doses of alcohol in 1 cup, and they're like, that's a good way to start the evening. Then, that's why the liver gets completely screwed up after.
Because it has no way of processing all the...
It processes it, but a lot of damage is done in the processing. So one of the things that people do, for instance, is that they'll take monoamine oxidase is an enzyme that breaks down a lot of drugs. So you can get a stronger effect from taking certain drugs by disabling your monoamine oxidase. There's a class of drugs called monoamine oxidase inhibitors, which you've probably heard of in drug commercials as MAOI, right? And lots of drugs will say, don't take this if you're taking MAOI, because MAOI will make, these drugs be much more potent than any drug, like anything you take, because monoamine oxidase will break down a lot of these drugs. So.
Well, they say not to take too much Tylenol, because that will have an adverse effect.
Yeah, any drug, too much will have, the NSAID will have really bad effects, like bleeding from your digestive tract and stuff like that. They can completely shut down the ability for your stomach to protect itself from its own acid and stuff
Is that
like
even if, like, you become kind of immune to, or like where, like you were saying, how if you take too much of something?
Tolerance?
Yeah, tolerance.
Yeah, it's not just the tolerance, the NSAIDs will directly act on
Mhm.
certain bodies, they shut down certain processes.
So if you have a tolerance of something and you start taking more of it, then it can have more of a damaging effect?
Well, you can have tolerance issues, but you can
Uh-huh.
also have issues from just too dang much of the drug,
Yeah.
right? Like NSAIDs, they're anti-inflammatories, but the inflammatory response is used all over the body to do all kinds of stuff, like moderating this form. We didn't learn about the form of prostaglandins,
Mhm.
but you almost can't learn about it in one or two sources. It's so complicated.
Yeah.
What it does. And if you shut down inflammation responses too strongly, you're not just shutting down like histamine responses, you're shutting down prostaglandin responses and all kinds of other like life essential things, right? So if you take too many NSAIDs, like things that your body is supposed to do, like in terms of protecting yourself against its own stomach acid or like urinating properly and things like that, all those things can shut down and you can really like screw your body up. So,
Hmm.
I mean, everybody knows if you take the medicine and take the whole bottle of pills,
Yeah.
you might die from that,
Mhm.
right? And people try to commit suicide like that. It's not just alcohol that will do it.
Yeah, I had, my dad, he would always have these really bad migraines, so he would take Tylenol and then Excedrin, and it just wouldn't have the same effect.
Yeah.
Or it kind of, his tolerance of it was higher, and so he would take more of it, and, yeah. So,
Okay, so what about endocrine and exocrine? What do they refer to?
endocrine is where, your body keeps,
Endocrine,
is where it's entering in, and your body keeps it.
It keeps it because it doesn't have what? A duct.
Yeah.
Okay, so the exocrine glands have a duct going to the outside, and the endocrine glands don't have a duct. So yeah, they keep whatever they produce. It goes into the bloodstream, whereas the exocrine gland, it goes into a duct. All right, what's the pacemaker, the natural pacemaker? When a doctor puts in a pacemaker, what's he replacing?
The SA and AB nodes.
Yes, the sinoatrial and atrioventricular nodes of the heart, yeah. So those are pieces of tissue that are partly muscular and partly nervous in nature, and they will send out signals that pass through the heart and synchronize the beating of the heart in the proper fashion. Okay, what's the exocrine function of the pancreas?
like bile into the gallbladder.
No, not bile, that's the liver, the gallbladder. What's that?
Insulin.
No, that's the endocrine function of the pancreas. The endocrine function of the pancreas is to produce insulin and glucagon. That's how they control sugar in the blood and so forth. What's the exocrine function of the pancreas? The pancreas runs like two glands in one, an exocrine gland and an endocrine gland as well. The exocrine function of it is actually different pieces of tissue, like it's a big exocrine gland with some little endocrine glands, like dots stuck in it. So the exocrine function is produced by carbonate ion and digestive enzymes. Okay, so it produces a lot of digestive enzymes for digestion.
Bicarbonate ions and what else? What's that?
Digestive
Oh,
enzymes.
okay.
Where do we absorb nutrients from the food we consume?
Small intestine.
The small intestine. Very good. The small intestine cells are covered in microvilli, which increase the surface area to the point where absorption of food can occur. Remember that what goes in there is we've got the blood flowing through the microvilli, or underneath the microvilli, and so those cells absorb things like salt, amino acids, sugars. They don't absorb fat. Where does the fat go?
It goes into the,
Goes into the lacteal,
Goes to the lacteals, which are part of what system?
the intestine.
and, no,
They're in the intestines, but what system are they part of? The lymphatic system.
Lymphatic.
The lymphatic system. The lacteals are little capillaries of the lymphatic system. And then once they absorb the fat from where the lymph is going to be sent up here, these arteries are here and come back into the bloodstream from there. All right. So going into a little bit more into the lymphatic system, what else does the lymphatic system do besides collecting fat? What's that? Yes, immunity. So the lymphatic system has several lymphoid organs which relate to immunity, and the lymphatic system also returns what to the blood? Interstitial fluid, right? Blood is called blood plasma. The plasma leaks out as interstitial fluid, and then it enters the lymphatic system where it becomes lymph, and then it gets dumped back into the blood supply. All right. Tell me about antibodies and, what are antibodies and how do they work?
There's two, right?
What do you mean by those two?
One directly attacks pathogens and one like produces antibodies or rest until.
Yeah, there's different kinds of immune cells, right?
Okay.
So antibodies are proteins produced by certain immune cells.
And they fight off.
So antibodies, they are proteins. They're produced by what?
B cells.
The B cells, the B lymphocytes. And what do they attach to?
To antigens.
Antigens, yeah. Antigens are whatever an antibody attaches to, okay? So, like, a peanut is like, hey, this is a good protein for me to store amino acids in. I'm going to use this to store amino acids in my food. That can be an antigen because the human body produces antibodies against it, and it's an antigen. Okay? Anything that anyone produces antibodies against, that's an antigen, in that context. Okay? So the antigen is whatever that particular antibody recognizes, and all the antibodies are different, so they recognize different things. So antibodies are really, really important to immunity, right? If you get sick and you get better, probably had a lot to do with antibodies circulating in your bloodstream, antibodies against that specific thing. They can attack and disable things like snake venom or bee venom or something like that. They can attack viruses and clump the viruses together so that they can no longer infect your cells. They can attack bacteria and target them for phagocytosis, make it easier for them to be gobbled up by your white blood cells. So the difference between you being infected by something and maybe dying and you getting better or becoming immune is usually antibodies. It's very difficult for you to survive without these. They're part of the adaptive immunity. Okay, you got to know the flow of blood to the heart. There's a question. What are the alveoli and what do they do? Where are they? What do they do?
The lungs.
There's the lungs. What do they do? Gas exchange, yeah. There's a little balloon bit. Okay, so these little airbag looking things here, they're the alveoli. You can see the blood vessels running over. All right, so when you breathe in, where does the air flow through? Through the mouth and nose, and then what?
Trachea.
Yeah, your pharynx first, and then over what's the little flap that closes off your trachea?
The
So you have the glottis, right? And then you've got the trachea, and then you've got the bronchiole, and then the alveoli, right? That's the flow of air into and out of that. If you eat a bunch of Doritos, and then your body's like, well, now I've got a lot more sodium than I need. How does your body, what organ is tasked with fixing that imbalance and do it? The kidneys, and how do they do it?
By secreting ANP, which pancreatic peptide that gets rid of salt.
Really got into it. And what's the ultimate, how does the sodium really leave the body?
Through the urine.
Through the urine,
Urine.
yeah. So the kidneys respond by producing more urine, right? And that urine will contain the excess salt. So you need water to get rid of that salt. Or else you're just going to have to hold on to it until you have enough water to get rid of it. Okay. Formed elements of the blood. Platelets do what?
Clotting.
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 Okay, white blood cells do what?
Fighting infection. Or immunity, yeah.
And then red blood cells do what?
Transport oxygen.
Transport oxygen, right? Through what do they carry? Hemoglobin. Right, what does hemoglobin contain?
Iron.
Iron. What about, fluid?
Contains hemoglobin, which has copper.
Not hemoglobin, they have blood, it's a grasshopper that has hemoglobin. They have hemocyanin in their blood, and that contains copper.
Copper, yeah.
So there's blue or green. These nitrogenous wastes that the kidney has to filter out, what causes them? Would I produce more nitrogenous waste off of eating rice or eating steak? Steak.
Protein.
Protein. Protein is what metabolizing protein for energy creates nitrogenous waste. If you use fat, to bulk yourself up, not so much, but when you break the steak down into amino acids and when you burn the amino acids for fuel, then you're left with amino groups, which you have to get rid of in some way. You have that thing where you use these things and turn them into ammonia, and then if you have a little bit more energy, you get to turn them into urea, and there's a lot of energy to expend them and you turn them into uric acid. Some animals will invest more energy in them because they have less water available, and they don't want to carry around a whole bunch of water, so they'll spend more energy to make a drier urine product, right? And we humans are playing in the middle of that, with the urea.
So like the kangaroo rat?
Yeah, well, the kangaroo rat has not developed a completely uric acid
Oh,
based system,
yeah.
but they have very efficient kidneys that
Mhm.
release very little water. Birds and some insects have gone over to uric acid only extremes.
Mhm.